Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanded Universe, a show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order as best I know how. Folks, we are going to talk about 3 Star Wars Adventure Journal short stories here. And the first one comes from Star Wars Adventure Journal number 1. Yes, the first one. It was called A Glimmer of Hope. It was written by Charlene Newcomb. Basically, it is the first of what would turn out to be mini stories about a secret rebel operative, Outswinger, who is stationed on the planet of Garros 4. Now, this was one of the first stories that you got when you got the Star Wars Adventure Journal, and there are a lot of Outswinger fans out there. And it's basically her story where she's seeing visions of this sandy-haired man that she is destined to meet one day. She doesn't know what they mean, and she's, of course, going on a mission to foil the Empire's control over the planet. Now, this story would be continued in Book 2, called Whispers of the Dark. So in Star Wars Adventure Journal 2, you have Whispers of the Dark, which basically takes Outswinger's story and continues it a little bit further. Now, Charlene Newcomb, a lot of people love her. A lot of people love Outswinger, like I said. Me personally, I wasn't a big fan of Outswinger. I did not like her. I understood why people loved her because that was the first exposure. I love the Star Wars Adventure Journal, by the way. And she was one of the first stories you got in the Adventure Journal. And then you got another story with her. And then later on another one and another one. So people were used to Outswinger stories. They were loving it. Me, I felt that she was an empty, bland character, and I had zero interest in her. And I hate to say that, but it's true. There are a few Charlene Newcomb stories I love. This one, which is really one of her fan favorites. The fans love this, the Outswinger tales. I did not. I did not like it. It seemed very run-of-the-mill and kind of blasé. I was not impressed by it. But there is one that I do want to talk about today that I was very impressed with. It's called Missed Chance. It's written by Michael Stackpole and is in the Star Wars Adventure Journal number 7. This one stars Corran Horn as he goes undercover. This is prior to the X-Wing novels. So before he joins X-Wing Rogue Squadron, he is going undercover to foil an Imperial plan by a prefect there. Now, it is kind of neat because Star Wars Adventure Journal 7 is a really good one to get because right before that, I think it's called Mist Encounter, and the Mist Encounter, and it's Thrawn's origin story, which is what everyone was really excited about when we got that. Everyone looked up this book because of Timothy Zahn, right? He was the big seller. But what you didn't know is that Michael Stackpole put in Corran Horn, which by the time we had already knew who he was too, and he was very popular. So there may have been a few people going for Corran Horn, but I remember it was all the rage about, did you see they revealed Thrawn's origin in the Star Wars Adventure Journal? Oh my goodness. It's such a big story to be revealed in an Adventure Journal? What? But what some people missed is there is a connection between the two stories. I think this is maybe the first time that Stackpole and Zahn collaborated because the Imperial Prefect in Thrawn's story is the same one that's in Corran Horn's story. It's just later. It happens afterwards. I don't know how much time has passed, but there is a connection there. So it's obvious that Stackpole and Zahn worked it together to have the same character float or villain float from one story to the next, which is kind of neat. Now, the Corran Horn story is fine. It's fine. It's your average, haha, foiled again thing. It's not as good as the Thrawn origin story, which we all loved, but it is a decent story. And it's Stackpole, right? And again, this is pre-X-Wing Rogue Squadron Corran Horn, so he's still fresh off getting his character. We already knew who the character was, but it's it's not an origin of him, it's just a prequel story from him. I guess Stackpole thought that, anything further back he'd save for later, or maybe he just wanted to tell this story. Who knows? That story is pretty good. If you're a Corran Horn fan, yes, you should check it out. Now, are you missing anything from there? If you read do the X-Wing novels mention this story? No, they do not. You know, Corin Horn's had several adventures, and so he's not going to mention this one. And this one has little to no impact on the X-Wing Rogue Squadron series. So you don't need to read if you're an X-Wing Rogue Squadron fan, but if you're a Corin Horn fan, it's an extra Corin Horn short, and that can never go wrong, right? All right, folks, that is all the time I have for now. See you next time with another video that I think you're going to be looking forward to.